Hey everyone, Camber here, and today I'm going to show you how different your body can look in just 5 days by going through Greg Doucette's bodybuilding peak week. Now, I have never done this before, so I'm pretty excited to see the results. But for some quick background, the reason I decided to do this is because I dieted to lose 10 pounds back in February to May of 2020 and took pictures of the results. So I've decided that I'm going to start taking pictures every May to compare my physique progress from year to year. But last time I didn't really know anything about peaking to look as good as possible for the pictures, so I just continued to eat like I normally would, except that on the last day before the pictures I stopped eating around noon until I took the pictures around 8 a.m. the following morning because I thought that was the best way to keep my stomach as flat as possible. And I had been doing intermittent fasting for about a year up to this point, so going without food was pretty normal for me. Ironically enough, I discovered Greg Doucette's channel about 2 weeks after I finished this diet and rebounded about 8 pounds in under 2 weeks. So after watching pretty much all of his videos and learning better ways of dieting, which would have made my original 3-month cut way easier as well as keeping the weight off, I'm going to follow his peak week protocol to try to get as shredded as possible by the end of the week. And hopefully I get it right, but if I don't, I'm sure he'll let me know whatever moronic mistakes I make. So Tuesday, May 11th. Not holding any weights or anything. So this is my typical morning weight for my normal diet, usually anywhere from 175 to 177. Now, I haven't been dieting down or anything like that because I've been happy with my level of body fat. I've had plenty of energy for exercising. I eat foods that I love that keep me full and are within my daily calorie limit. So we'll use these posing shots for my normal physique today to see how everything looks and have something to compare with on Saturday. So the whole concept of peak week is to try to get as much water out of your system as possible so that you look extra shredded. And the way I'm doing that is by going on a keto diet for 3 days to take in as few carbs as possible. And the reason you do this is because carbs are stored in the muscles as glycogen, and every gram of carb holds about 3 grams of water. So as you take in fewer carbs over those few days and deplete your muscles of the glycogen, the result is you should be losing a lot of water weight. And this is also why a lot of people think that keto is so great at first, because they lose a lot of weight really quickly, but don't realize that it's mostly water weight because they're not taking in many carbs. And then once they decide to eat something like some pizza, they freak out about gaining a lot of water weight quickly when consuming a lot of carbs, which leads to getting stuck in the idea that carbs are evil. But the result from this carb depletion is that your muscles will also get flat looking because you're depleting them of all that glycogen and water, which you'll then follow the keto phase by a day of carbing up before the event to refill the muscles. So just to keep things simple during this keto phase, I'm just going to eat the same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner. So I have egg whites with 1 whole egg in there, bacon, and then some avocado mashed up in my own little guacamole there for some extra flavor. So during these first 3 days of keto, I'm also drinking about 2 gallons of water per day. I just finished this one. I'm working on the second one now. And I know you might be thinking, but I thought the whole purpose of this was to get rid of as much water out of your system as possible. Yes, that's true, but we won't be storing this water in the body because all of the leftover carbs that are stored in the muscles as glycogen and hold the water is being depleted. And for lunch, I'm just eating a really big salad. I ran out of a bunch of the vegetables that I can have for the keto diet, so I'm just eating a bunch of cucumbers, throwing a lot of chicken in there, and then some fat-free cheddar cheese on top of that. Doesn't sound very exciting, but I'm only doing this for 3 days. And I'm still working out like normal and pushing myself to failure on my lifts to really make sure to deplete all the leftover carbs in the muscles. So it's a pretty big salad there. Nothing crazy exciting. I'm using some honey barbecue sauce, Walden Farms, 0 calories. So a lot of dressings have tons of carbs in them. This doesn't. This isn't my favorite flavor, but it's all I have right now. So I'm just gonna make do with it. I mean, you could throw syrup on here if you wanted. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So with constantly drinking all this water, it'll pass through my system quickly because my body is so used to peeing it out because so much is coming in. So then when I cut water in a couple of days, my body will be used to getting rid of it quickly, and I'll get dehydrated faster without my body trying to hold on the water as compared to if I was slowly cutting water over a few days. So the goal is you end up completely dried out from being carb depleted as well as dehydrated from just completely cutting off the huge supply of water on the last day. So bodybuilding itself is good because you're working to improve your body and make it stronger, but being dehydrated is definitely not good for your body, and competing in bodybuilding isn't really a healthy thing to do because your body does not want to be at extremely low body fat percentages or dehydrated, and it can make your hormones go crazy and things might stop working normally. But I had to go out of town for a night, so I brought food with me. And super exciting, we have chicken and broccoli. Yesterday and the day before, I was eating the same things, but I forgot today I was having to cut out sodium as much as possible. And so the eggs that I was having the first 2 days with the meat and cheese, all those things have a lot of sodium. So for breakfast this morning, guess what? Chicken and broccoli is what I had. And for lunch, same thing. Dinner, same thing. And the purpose of cutting out the sodium is because we've already pretty much completely depleted the muscles of the glycogen holding the water. So now cutting out sodium in this last day while we're still flushing water through the system so that your body's not going to hold on to that because of the sodium. And let me tell you, I am ready to be done with this keto diet. I don't see how people do this. I have been extremely worn out. Part of it is because I decided over these last 3 days that I'm gonna cut 1,000 calories a day just to feel more tired like a bodybuilder would who's been dieting down for 3 months or so, however long. To this point, they'd feel really weak going into this. So obviously I'm nowhere near as tired as those guys feel, and I'm nowhere near as lean. But I can totally understand now, like when I see Greg's videos of his peak week and he's just kind of laying around not wanting to do anything, because I have been feeling dead. I went and worked out legs today, and I was doing 10 to 20 pounds less on every set than what I would normally do. But it's amazing how good plain chicken and plain broccoli taste when you're extremely hungry, because I have not felt like this in a while. And I've been having flashbacks to a year ago from February to May when I was cutting down and didn't know what I was doing very well, just felt hungry all the time because I wasn't eating the right types of foods. I mean, I've been eating French toast, popcorn, pancakes, all this good stuff every day since then. And now it's like really limited options on foods, the keto stuff, and then also with the no sodium. But I'm just like, oh, this tastes so good. But I'm having flashbacks, like thinking, oh, I just want to eat everything I see. I want to order a pizza. I want to go get ice cream. I want this. It leads to binge eating. I mean, because you see those guys on stage, and not only are they super lean, but they've also gone through this to look even leaner on stage. So I understand now why it's unattainable to be like this year round. So I'm in a hotel filming by myself just to show you. I'm wearing the same thing. About to see what my weight is after these 3 days of keto. Wow, I was a bit surprised to see that number, 5 pounds difference from my weigh-in 3 days ago. And I mean, that just goes to show how the keto, you lose a lot of water weight really quickly. I did have that 1,000 calorie deficit as well, so that's 3,000 calories over the 3 days and close to a pound there. But even so, if it's only 4 pounds, that was pretty surprising to me. But you can see, abs are looking pretty defined right now, and chest starting to see a little bit of striations across the top there. So that's pretty cool. I've never really had that before. But I'm definitely feel a bit flatter and a bit weaker, or a lot weaker from the carb depletion and the calorie deficit and all that. Definitely looking forward to carbing up today, just feeling back to normal. But we're not starting quite yet. Starting out the day with some chicken, 180 grams, as well as a half gallon of water over the next hour. And that's going to be all the water for today. That's it for water. It's been about 3 hours since that first meal, and about to start eating the carbs finally, but it's not all the fun stuff yet. Right now I have 3 cups of rice, 50 grams of chicken, and half a can of sodium-free peas. So still trying to stay away from the sodium until the rest of the water kind of gets flushed out of my system. And the idea here is that of like a dry sponge soaking up water, okay? If it's completely dried out, it's gonna be able to pull in a whole lot of water, and that's kind of what we're doing with reloading all the carbs back in. Now that the water's out of my system, putting the carbs in and letting your muscles get really full from that, but without the water, since we cut that out a while back. And once again, this isn't healthy, and obviously you shouldn't go around dehydrated so you can look as shredded as possible. And that's why it's called peak week, okay? Because you're manipulating your body to look the absolute best for that one day, and then whether it's a competition or a photo shoot, and then you're going back to a more healthy body fat percentage. So it's been about 15 minutes since I finished all that rice, chicken, and peas, and I'm already hungry. So snack time. That is good. Oh. All right, we are gassed up, ready to go. It's been about an hour since I had that cereal, I think I've already downed about a third of the box. I was pretty hungry, but I got a little something special here. Haven't had in a while. Pop Tarts. Got the blueberry Pop Tarts. I haven't had a Pop Tart in years. I must say it is pretty good, but pretty much everything is good when you feel like you're starving. Up next, another bowl of 50 grams of chicken, the other half of the can of peas, and about another 2 cups of rice. Gonna have that, and then a little dessert afterwards that I like, sweet Tart Ropes. These are one of my favorite candies. I know Greg has a lot of chocolates in his videos. We're wanting to get a lot of carbs, and this is what I want. So, you know, make it work for you. That Cinnamon Toast Crunch. When Will Tennyson did this carb up, he had 2 boxes of Reese's. I'll tell you what, next time you do it, man, get a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and that'll take care of that flavor fatigue. Man, going from chocolate to cinnamon and sugar, whew, that is good. Well, finally home, so let's get out of this car and stretch. So just got done getting a fresh haircut, so we'll be ready for the pictures tomorrow. I was getting out of the shower, my wife said she's taking the kids to the playground, so I figured I'd go ahead and walk there and meet them because I've been feeling kind of blah the last few hours from all this food, and instead of sitting around just being like, oh, I figured going for a walk will kind of help move everything around and feel a little bit better. But next up on the list, we have these Cheddar mini rice cakes. It's supposed to be salted ones, but they didn't have any in the store, and these had a lot of sodium, the most out of all the options there, so I figured that would be a good choice. And the whole idea here was we cut sodium before to try to get as much of the water out, and then Greg had said once you start feeling your muscles cramping, then it's time to get the sodium back in. And I was feeling my calves cramping when I was doing legs the other day, and when I was getting out of the shower, drying myself up, I was cleaning up my arm, and my pec right here started knotting up, and I was thinking, okay, it's definitely time. So that's what we're doing here. Now it is time for some more rice and chicken. There's a cup of rice, 40 grams of chicken, and I'm getting pretty tired of rice now. On his plan, he has 3, so this is the third of 3 chicken and rice meals. The first one was supposed to be 4 cups of rice, then 3 cups, then 2 cups, but he is a bigger guy than me, so I'm cutting out a little bit of that. I did 3 cups, 2 cups, and now 1 cup of rice, and that's plenty for me. And then also 1 pack, this is 7 rice cakes. I got apple cinnamon because they didn't have chocolate, but they're pretty much the same thing. I actually like apple cinnamon flavor better anyways, so that works out. But I'm looking forward to this being the last chicken and rice meal. It's definitely getting more difficult to eat without having any water, but just gotta deal with it. Once I started eating that first rice meal and then the cereal in the car, I was feeling a lot better, but now it's starting to catch back up to me, starting to feel kind of drained again. I have more energy as far as not feeling depleted in my body, but my sleep over the last few days has gotten progressively worse. And last night I woke up like 3 times to go to the bathroom. I ended up waking up about 5:30 in the morning when I didn't want to get up till around 7. So it definitely takes a toll on you as well when you're not eating as much and drained, and your body's like, hey, get up and eat something, because I'm starving. Time for dinner. What do we have here? That's yours.
No.
We have a large plate
Get my hamburger
of fries. Yeah. And a lot of ketchup. Although their fries are so good, I never really eat ketchup with them because I like them, but I think I'll probably use this just to keep the saltiness at bay. I've been looking forward to this meal because you get to have 2 Diet Cokes, it says, but I'm gonna try Coke Zero versus Pepsi Zero, see which one's better. But I've been quite parched for the last few hours, so I'm looking forward to these. And with this carb up day, it's tougher than I thought it would be. And you only need to do it one day. We're gonna see the results tomorrow, obviously, but if you do it more than one day, like she's been carving up all week. Here, This is what happens when you carb up too much. You start to spill over. So you got to be careful with this and make sure you're not going overboard and just get the amount you need. And it's getting tough to eat this stuff, and I still have to finish those cereals. So gonna get this down eventually. It's gonna be the best part of the day now. Oh man, that was good. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to tap out here. I might finish this later, but I can't eat as much as I thought. Whoa, dishwasher's running, but yeah, I still have to finish off that cereal. I've eaten everything else I've shown you so far, aside from the cereal. I haven't finished it yet, but this, I don't think I can do it. I don't want to end up throwing up, but I am gonna finish this. I'm thirsty. And the Coke was better. So I could not finish the fries. It's just too much for me. I still have the Reese's, about that much left. So I don't know, maybe a quarter of it, a third. And then Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's almost gone. So I'm gonna try to eat some of that before bed. He had listed 2 Kitkat bars and they were 210 calories each when I looked them up. I'm not a big fan of Kitkat, so I got these mini Twix and 4 of them, 200 calories, and the same with these Butterfingers. 4 of these is about 190, so I'm gonna try to down 4 of each of these, and that'll be like having the 2 Kit Kats, and also try to work on the cereal. That's gonna be about it for tonight. I'll put up here a list of everything I've had today. I'm sick of eating, and I'm tired, ready to go to bed. We're just gonna see how much I weigh at the end of the day. 175.4, so I didn't eat nearly as much as I thought I would. When Will Tennyson did this, he was like 12 pounds heavier at night, and that was only 5.5. But as you can see, I don't look like my stomach's really sticking out, but I feel like it right now, and I felt like if I could have force-fed some more, but I probably would have started throwing up or something, or not been able to sleep through the night, which will kind of defeat the whole purpose. So I have this. When I wake up to go to the bathroom at night, I need to eat. And then when I get up, it'll be getting ready, pump up, posing, and we'll see if there's any difference and if it was worth it. Got the final weigh-in. So, I ended up not getting up last night and eating that because it was one of the first times I actually didn't wake up in the middle of the night. So we've got a small banana, a little bit of chocolate, and some more of those rice cakes from yesterday, and just to keep from getting bloated, some gas X. But as you saw, it was only about 2.5 pounds less than last night. Not a crazy huge drop. I didn't eat nearly as much as I thought I would, and I didn't get up in the middle of the night and eat any of that candy because I was out for the night. So the first thing you'll notice is that even though I took the pictures at the same time of day in my garage, the lighting still isn't quite the same. So next time I do this, I'll definitely set up my own lighting inside so that the before and after will be as consistent as possible. But anyways, I didn't really notice a huge change, which may partly be due to the inconsistent lighting, but I did notice a bit more of a difference in my legs than my upper body, which makes sense to me because my upper legs seem to lose fat last. On some of the side shots, I noticed that my obliques looked a bit tighter, but I definitely think most of the slight difference was in my legs, especially my hamstrings looking softer in the before here. But those are my results from my normal everyday physique and at the end of a peak week. So let me know if you see any difference in the comments below. And keep in mind that when you see pictures of fitness models, they're probably doing this unhealthy kind of stuff to look their best for a photo shoot. They take hundreds of pictures and then post one every other day so that from your point of view, that's what they always look like. Then you think that you never look quite good enough because you don't look like that. So remember to strive to be the best that you can be in a healthy way and just be happy with yourself. You can always shoot to improve, but don't shoot to look like someone else. Just be the best version of yourself. And I highly suggest you take pictures and measurements of yourself every 6 months or so, and that way you can see your progress over time and stay motivated by what you've accomplished. But I hope this video was helpful for you and entertaining. Leave a like if you haven't, subscribe if you're new, check out @Camber Fitness on Instagram. Post a lot of cool stuff there. Got a lot of good stuff coming your way, so stay tuned and I will see you soon.